음, Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ambuj. I am a research scholar at Agricultural and Food Engineering Department from Indian Institute of Technology, IIT Kharagpur. Okay, and I'll be taking your live interactive session on the course Farm Machinery. This course is taught by Professor Virendra Kumar Tiwari, Director, IIT Kharagpur. And what I will be doing in this particular session that I'll be posting some of the multiple choice questions on the basis of the previous week's content in front of you all, and you have to just tell me the correct option, okay, in the message box or the chat box. Okay. So the very first question for the day is this one. The purpose of providing the wheel on a push-pull type weeder is to guide the implement, maintain the proper depth, uproot the weed, or both A and B. Okay. So please do try to answer. Okay. Yes. The correct option would be D, both A and B. Why? Because see here, see for yourself. This is a push pull type weeder. Okay. This particular implement which has been developed is a push pull type weeder. Okay. I'll just write in for you. Okay. And this particular one is the guiding wheel, which has been asked in this particular question. Okay. This particular one is the guiding wheel. Okay. And these are the attachments. Okay. These are the different types of attachments which are there. Okay. For weeding purposes. Okay. So the purpose of providing the wheel on a push pull type weeder is to first of all guide the implement. Okay. This wheel helps in guiding the weed along the intended path. Okay. The weeding operation has to be performed manually. That is why it is very essential to guide the wheel in the proper direction. Okay. Guiding the weeder along the intended path during the operation so that minimum damage occurs to the plant. Okay. We don't want to incur any damage to the plant. That is why we have to guide the weeder along the intended path only during the operation. Okay, so that it moves along a straight line without deviating from any desired from the desired direction. Okay, that is the first purpose. Second purpose is to maintain proper depth. Okay, wheel is also assisting in maintaining a constant depth of operation, as you can see. Okay, from its figure as well as from the operation of the push pull tab weeder, it helps. It acts as a depth control mechanism. Okay, preventing the weeder from either it will not dig too deep or it will not dig too shallow. Okay, both the cases we can directly just minimize. Okay, it will not dig too deep, it will not dig too shallow. Okay, this is important here, thereby ensuring effective weed removal without damaging the crops. Okay, hence the correct option would be both A and B. Okay, had the wheel not been there, then either the depth would have been too much large. Okay, or only the surface weeds would have been removed. Okay, so both the cases we are just trying to minimize. Okay, or we are trying to just overcome them. We are not trying to dig too deep, we are not trying to dig too shallow. Okay, so for maintaining constant or proper depth for weeding operation, we don't have to uproot the crop plant. We only have to uproot the weed plant as well as for guarding the implement. Okay, hence the correct option would be D, both A and B. This is important. Okay, yes. The next question for the present session is this one. The quality of work for a weeding equipment is influenced by A, pulverization, second is field capacity, third is weeding efficiency. Okay, and the fourth one is none of the above. Okay, do try to solve this particular question. Yes. The quality of work done for a weeding equipment is influenced by pulverization, field capacity, weeding efficiency, or none of the above. Okay. Quality of work done for a weeding equipment is influenced by. Do try to solve this question. Okay. Yes. The correct option for this is weeding efficiency. Okay. Quality of work for a weeding equipment means for judging the quality of the weeding for a particular weeder, maybe it is manual or maybe it is robotic. Okay, so that is done by using weeding efficiency. Okay, yes. See here, pulverization refers to the breaking down of soil clods into the finer particles. This particular metric we use for uh, evaluating the performance of a moldboard plow. Okay, or evaluating the performance of any rotavator or a leveler. Okay, it is primarily a measure of the quality of work. It is not a primary quality of measure of for weeding equipment. Okay, for which particular implements it is used, I already told you. Okay, then field capacity. Okay, field capacity is a general term. Okay, which can be used for every implement, every equipment which is there in the farm, which is there in the farm fields. Okay, in the fields. Okay, yes. Field capacity measures the area a piece of equipment can cover over the given time. For a given period of time, what is the exact uh, area which is getting covered? Okay, but it does not directly indicate the quality of work. It will not affect the. It will not directly indicate the quality of the work which is done by the equipment. Then comes the weeding efficiency, very important. It is a direct measure of the effectiveness of weeding equipment, okay, in removing weeds from the field. It indicates the proportion of weeds which are successfully eradicated, removed compared to the total weed population in the field. Okay. What is the number of the weeds which have been eradicated or removed by the particular type of weeder? compared or divided to the total weed population in the field. Okay, this is important, thereby directly reflecting the quality of work which is done by the weeder. Okay, this is particularly very important from the examination point of view. A lot of questions in this particular session are from weeding efficiency only. Okay, so do keep this in mind. Okay, what is weeding efficiency and what is its formula? Okay, yes. Moving to the next question for the day. The weeding operation involving living organisms such as insects, nematodes, bacteria, or fungi to reduce weed populations is known as chemical weeding, mechanical weeding, flame weeding, or biological weeding. Weeding operation. Okay, I'm just highlighting the correct keyword. Weeding operation involving living organisms. Okay, such as insects, nematodes, bacteria, fungi to reduce the weeding population is known as what? Okay, you try to answer. Yes, please do try to answer. Weeding operation involving living organisms such as insects, nematodes, bacteria, or fungi to reduce weed populations is known as biological weeding. Why? Why so? You could have easily guessed because these all are living organisms: insects, nematodes, bacteria, fungi. Okay. How exactly the process is being carried out, we'll see it in great detail. Okay. The weeding operation involving living organisms such as insects, nematodes, bacteria, or fungi to reduce the weeding populations, known as biological weeding. Chemical weeding involves either the use of herbicides or other chemical substances to control or eliminate the weeds. Okay. Other than that, one another option was there, mechanical weeding. Yes, mechanical weeding employs tools, okay, or the machinery which has to directly destroy or which has to directly cut the weed. Okay, that is regarding mechanical weeding. Yes. Another option is what? Your flame weeding. Okay, flame weeding is another innovative technique. Okay, it is in use since later long back. Okay, late 1900, early 1900s or late 1800s. Since then, it has been constantly in use. Okay, what it does, it uses a propane torch or a similar device to apply direct heat to the weeds. Okay, the weeds will get eliminated, but at the same time, the healthy microbes which will be there within the reach, say 5 centimeters from the soil, they will also get eliminated. This is particularly disadvantage of your flame weeding. Okay. Yes. Another option was biological weeding. Yes, this is the correct option because it directly uses living organisms such as insects, nematodes, bacteria, or fungus to control the weed populations by natural predation, parasitism, or competition. Okay. Natural predation means uh, feeding one type of species on another species. Okay, that is natural predation. Parasitism, as you already know, what do you mean by parasitism? Okay, parasites means the organisms which feed onto the another organisms. Okay, that is parasitism, or natural competition. Okay, or the competition. So if within the species, the competition would be there for resources, say for food, sunlight, water. Okay. So naturally, one species will get eliminated in a due period of time. Okay. That is the concept behind competition. Okay. So the correct option would be biological weeding. I am talking about biological weeding in great detail in the few upcoming slides. Okay. Yes. See here, biological weeding, it's an ecological approach. It's ecological it's eco-friendly. Okay. Manage weeds through the use of natural organisms such as insects, animals, fungi, bacteria that can suppress or control weed populations. Okay. It's important here. Method is based on the principle utilizing the natural relationships between the ecosystems to achieve weed management. Okay. And much use of chemical herbicides is inhibited. Okay, this is important. How is it done? See here, various methods are there. Okay, I have explained them in great detail. First method is biological control agents. Okay, insects, certain insects are there which are used in targeting the specific weeds. Okay, feeding on the larvae of the feeding on them or laying eggs on them to increase their population. Okay. So if certain species is there which is feeding on certain weed plant, so if we introduce that species in our field, okay, so gradually the entire weed species will be eliminated, but we have to be very sure that it does not interact or it does not start eating our crop also. Okay. So be very careful. Other than that, fungi, bacteria, and viruses that specifically infect and damage the weeds can be utilized to control their growth. Okay. Yes. Then another option, another method is natural predation. Okay. I already explained it. I'm explaining it once more. Introducing the population of natural predators that feed on weed species. Okay. Natural predations similar to that only, which is there in the first method, but here the species will try to eliminate weed. Their major feed would be weed only. Okay. Then competition for resources gradually eliminates the weed species. Only one can survive. Survival of the fittest. Okay. Then another method is allelopathy. Some plants they release chemicals, okay, which inhibit the growth of nearby plants, including weeds. Not much success has been there in this particular method because the growth of our crop plant also gets affected. Okay, within due period of time, the growth of the plant also gets reduced. Okay. Yes, soil microbial communities enhancing or introducing specific soil microbes that suppress the weed germination and growth can be an effective strategy. Okay. This particular method has also seen success. Okay, not very high in nature, but yes, there have been researches where specific soil microbes have been introduced. They try to suppress the weed germination. How? Because in the soil, when the soil microbes are changed, the medium which is there, which is giving nutrients to the plants, all kinds of species, that the medium itself does not just favors the production of the weed. Okay, it the weed seed won't be able to germinate. That is the thing here. Soil microbial communities. Okay. Yes, benefits. A lot of benefits are there. Okay, but environmental safety is there. No harm is there because poisonous chemicals are not being used here. Okay, it is highly sustainable. Yes, you can just continue it for a long period of time. Then long term control is there when you will eliminate in gradual years the weed species will not reemerge in your field. Okay, challenges are there. It is time consuming. It is not an overnight solution. Okay, farmers generally just spray their field with herbicide or pesticide. Okay, it gives the solution overnight. Okay, so it is time consuming biological weeding. Okay, then specificity, a lot of research you have to do. Okay, you have to introduce the biological agents which eat weeds. Okay, which eat weeds or which consume weeds. Okay, they should not consume our own crop. Okay, which from which we are trying to gather production. Okay, then non-target effects. Yes, there is a risk of non-target effects. Introducing biological agents can potentially disrupt the local ecosystems. Definitely, yes, because these particular systems are having long-term effects. Okay. So this is regarding biological weeding. Now we will see some methods how we can just biologically eliminate the weeds. Okay. First approach, see here, classical biological control. Okay. Introducing natural enemies. Okay. This method involves introducing specific natural predators or parasites. For example, we are releasing a beetle that feeds exclusively on weed. Okay. So that would be very helpful. Okay. But the natural question emerges when the weed species in a particular field is over, then that particular beetle will try to just feed on the crop. Okay. So this particular method has to be specifically very precise. Okay. So in a large area, we have to introduce weeds. We have to introduce beetles. Okay, and their growth has to be checked, as well as the crop should be similar. Might be there that in one field it is eating weeds, and then in the other adjacent field it is eating the crop itself. Okay, so we have to be very careful in this particular method. Another method is inundative biological control, mass release of biocontrol agents. Yes, uh, releasing large quantities of natural enemies or the pathogens. Okay, disease causing bacteria into an area to achieve immediate control of weed population. Yes, this is effective. Okay, yes, this one is effective. Often done with insects or pathogens. Okay, mass produced in a laboratory. Very popular in China. Okay, where the production rate is high. Okay, so overnight control they can achieve using this particular method. Bio mass release of biocontrol agents. Okay, sometimes they interfere uh, specifically with the genomes of the wheat. Okay, I'll explain this particular method in detail in few upcoming slides. Okay. Yes. Then conservation, biological control, enhancing the natural predators. This method focuses on preserving or enhancing the existing populations of the natural enemies in the ecosystem. Practices may include planting hedgerows or flowering plants that provide habitat and food for beneficial insects. Okay, how this method is just giving us the benefit. This method focuses on preserving the existing population of natural enemies. Okay, some species are there already present in our ecosystem. Okay, they feed on weeds, so we just have to conserve them. Okay, we have to conserve them, we have to just increase their population. Some birds are there which feed on weeds, some insects are there, some pests, some nematodes are there. So we have to just gradually increase their population. That is the method. Then competitive planting is there. Either you use cover crops or companion plants. Okay, certain cover crops like clover, rye, okay, can outcompete weeds and prevent their establishment. Yes, how this particular method is helpful? See here, in this particular method, you are just increasing the amount of competitive species, much close like that of allelopathy. Both these methods are similar only. In allelopathy, uh, some plants are there which release chemicals which can inhibit the growth of weeds. Okay, so that is allelopathy. But in competitive planting, you are just increasing the amount of other species, so that there would be competition for resources such as light, water, and nutrients, and gradually the amount of weeds would be reduced. Okay. But in case of your allelopathy, it's a good question for your examination point of view. What is the difference between competitive planting and allelopathy? Okay. But in case of allelopathy, the plants release allelochemicals, okay, which inhibit the growth of plants, including the weed species. For instance, using sorghum or certain legumes, okay, when in one season you will plant legumes in your field, then in another session your wheat germination as well as its growth will decrease. Okay. Yes. Then use of microbial agents is there. Application of fungi or bacteria is there. Okay, which can suppress the growth of the our weeds. Okay, using mycoherbicides, fungal pathogens. Okay, specifically designed to attack weed species. This is much similar to genome editing. Okay, genetic engineering, which is there in this particular 10th option. Biotechnical technological approaches. Okay, this particular approach is there. Developing genetically modified plants that are resistant to specific weeds. They'll outrightly eliminate the weeds because their genes are much superior, and in comparison to weeds, they'll just suck all the amount of resources in form of nature, in form of light, in form of nutrients, in form of resources. When they'll get sucked, then what will happen? Your the gene pool of the plant species is such that it will suck all the nutrients, then eventually the weed species will die. Okay, then soil management, I told you, practices are there such as composting, cover cropping to and reduce tillage. Okay, in order to eliminate the weeds in the upcoming seasons. That is soil management. Then grazing and browsing, yes, this particular method is there. It has been in use since long back. Okay, herbivores such as sheep is there, goat is there. They can graze on weeds, particularly in the areas where your chemical control is not desirable. In case of your ranches, in case of your plains, okay, grazing plains, grazing fields. In those particular fields, you can use your animals. Then organic mulching is there. Organic mulching like straw, wood chips. Okay, they can suppress weed growth by blocking the sunlight and reducing the soil temperature. When soil temperature will get reduced, what will happen? And specifically in case of crops like onion, this particular method is very useful. Okay, you must have seen the plantation of onion. How it is done? That in particular patch of the field, first of all, field is prepared. Primary, secondary tillage both are done, and leveling is done. Cloud breaking is done. Everything is done, and in certain field size, okay, in certain field area, you will just try to germinate onion. Okay, onion plants you try to germinate, and the entire field you will just cover with straw, with hay. What will happen? That area would be much colder. Okay, because sunlight is not uh, getting, it is not getting sunlight. Okay, sunlight is not able to get there. Okay, so what will happen over the period of time in your patch in which you have not covered the field, the plants will germinate, and in the entire field, due to much colder temperature, okay, or much lesser temperature, the uh, weed population will eventually die. Okay, so this particular method is very useful. Okay, mulching. Using organic materials like straw or wood chips can suppress weed growth by blocking the sunlight and reducing the soil temperature. Okay. Mulches also have allelopathic properties that can inhibit weed germination. Okay. So these were the methods of biological weed control, which was being asked in this particular question. Okay. Yes. Let us move forward. If the total number of weeds per unit area before and after the weeding operation are 145 weeds per meter square and 22 weeds per meter square, then what is the weeding efficiency? I told you the formula. Weeding efficiency is given by the quantity of weeds which are eliminated divided by the original quantity of weeds multiplied by 100. Okay. So just try to calculate this weeding efficiency in this particular question. Okay. Please take your time and try to calculate the amounts of weeds which have been eliminated. They have to be calculated, then divided by the original amount of weeds multiplied by 100. Okay, this is the answer. Try to calculate. C. Very good. Very good. It is indeed C, 140, 84.8%. Okay. Yes. Reading efficiency. I told you the formula. I am telling you once again. Number of weeds removed divided by the total number of weeds before weeding multiplied by 100. Okay. So first you have to calculate how many number of weeds have been eliminated. They are given by 145 minus 22 because weeds per unit area, weed density they have calculated. So it was 145 before the operation and after it has been 22. Okay. So 145 minus 22, it is 123. Then 123 divided by 145 multiplied by 100 is your 84.8. Direct question. Okay. No particular if, but, and something twist is there. Okay. Straightforward question is there. Okay. So please do solve these questions in the examination. Okay. If these type of questions come directly, you have to just keep in mind what is weeding efficiency. And immediately you can calculate. Don't commit any mistake and you will get full marks. Okay. Yes. Then coming to the next question. This is a long question, but it is very simple. Okay. Don't get it feared in the very first sight. Okay. A robotic weeder is designed to remove weeds from a crop field with a width of 2 meters. Okay. I'll draw figure with you. The width of the field is 2 meters. Okay. This is 2 meters. And the weeder can cover an area of 10,000 square meters per hour. Okay. Calculate how long it will take the weeder to complete one pass to the entire field, assuming it operates at a constant speed and that field's length is given 100 meters. Okay. So along the length, okay, what would be the amount of time if the operational efficiency is 10,000 square meters per hour? Okay. So how much time it will just take to cover the entire field? Okay. So what you have to do, you just have to see here 10,000 meter squares per hour has been given as the uh, amount of area covered per hour. Okay, 10,000 meters. So you just try to calculate in hours, first of all, what is the time required to cover this field. The area of this field would be 200 meter squares. Okay, so 200 meter square divided by 10,000 meter square divided by meter square per hour. That will give you the time in hours. Then you multiply it by 60, you will get it in minutes. Okay. Just tell me what is the option. Calculate how long it will take to reader to complete one pass through the entire width of the field. Okay. Straightforward question. No test is there. Please do try to solve. 200 meter square divided by 10,000 meter square per hour. So that will give me some amount in hours multiplied by 60 in minutes. What is the correct option? Please do tell me. C. Very good. It is 1.2 minutes. Okay. Each and every step I have shown here. Okay. Area covered in one pass, the entire width of the field when it will try to cover, the area would be 200 meters square. 2 meters is the operational width, 100 meters is the length. 200 meters square, then speed already that has been given 10,000 meters square per hour. Then time, directly you try to calculate 200 meters square. Time is area upon speed, obviously 200 meters square divided by 10,000 meters squares per hour. It would be 0.02 hours. Then you multiply it by 60 minutes, you will get 1.2 minutes. Okay. Easy question. But some length is there. That is why I have given you this type of questions for practice. Okay. So if in the examination you are looking a paragraph long question, then don't get feared from it. Okay, in the very first side, that how will I get the correct option? Try to write down the information that has been given. Then alongside it, try to write down what is the information that is being asked, and then try to calculate each and everything step by step. You will get the correct option. Even in the subjective type questions in the examination, in your semester examinations, okay, follow the same procedure. First of all, write the information that has been given, then what is being asked, then you try to see the things step by step. Just looking from the words like robotic weeder, autonomous weeder, autonomous ground vehicle, don't get feared. That is my only intention. Okay. Yes. Yes. Now you try to solve this particular question based on the previous week's content. Okay. The threshold condition used in the controller based variable rate herbicide applicator system to separate the weed from the background is GBR intensities are equal, then green color intensity is greater than red color intensity, or green color intensity is greater than blue color intensity, then both B and C. It is based on such color based segmentation. Okay. Yes, try to solve it, then I'll explain you it in great detail. Just give your opinion once. D, both B and C. Okay, good, very good. It is indeed the correct option, both B and C. Okay, see here. See, first of all, I'll explain the question. The threshold condition means the condition which separates uh, weed from plant. The threshold condition used in the microcontroller based variable rate herbicide applicator. First of all, it is herbicide. Okay, it is not pesticide. Okay, so herbicide will be sprayed in the entire field. Okay, so threshold condition would be such that the microcontroller is able to distinguish the weed from the soil. Okay, in case of weed to crop segmentation, the threshold condition would be something else. That in that case, we have to use the HSV saturation or some type of deep learning model or some type of camera vision based module, because both the species would be green. Okay, but in case of a herbicide application, the herbicide application takes place in the entire field, so that is why we can go for color segmentation. Okay, so a camera or a microcontroller, okay, it would be fed an image. Okay, ultimately the image from the camera would be given to the microcontroller. Okay, that microcontroller should be able to segment the each and every pixel. It will segment in terms of R, G and B, and whatever would the color proportion would be the highest, it will declare it as that particular pixel only. Okay, so how this wonderful system works, I am explaining you that when we increase the intensity, green color intensity, either much larger than red color intensity or much greater than blue color intensity, means we are uh, just enhancing the weight of the green color intensity such that the green color is only highlighted in that particular image, and the microcontroller would be turning on our pump, which will ultimately dispense the herbicide only when the condition would be true. Means in a particular image frame, if the green color intensity is much larger than the red color or the blue color intensity, at that particular frame only the microcontroller would be turning on my herbicide applicator, such that in actual field The herbicide application takes place only to the plant, not to the soil, or not even to the anything which comes in between. Okay. Yes, this is the fundamental of herbicide based microcontroller based variable rate herbicide applicator. Okay. Yes, the threshold condition which is used in microcontroller based variable rate herbicide applicator is green color intensity much greater than red color intensity, or green color intensity much greater than blue color intensity. Weeds, being the plants, typically reflect more green light than red, making it useful for identifying them. Okay, I already told you why. The fundamental thing is this: why plants look green, because they reflect more green light than red. That is why it appears in our eyes that plants are green. Okay, had they been reflecting some another color, then you would be seeing those plants in some another color. Okay, it is so because uh, in case of other species, okay, like in case of bats or cats or camels, they would be seeing the entire ecosystem around us in some another color. Okay, this is important for us to understand. But our camera, which we have designed, it sees just like us. Okay. Yes. Weeds, being the plants, typically reflect more green light than red, making it useful condition for identifying them. Then similarly, plants generally reflect more green light than blue. Yes, they will reflect more green light as compared to the other spectra, that is R and B, red and blue, reinforcing this condition for weed identification. Hence, the correct option would be B and C. Okay. If you will keep green, blue, red intensities, all the color intensities useful as equal, your herbicide applicator won't be able to distinguish between your field and your weed or your crop plant. Okay, this is important. Yes. Coming to the next question, just from this question. Okay, as an extension to this question. Okay, as a next version to this question, in an image acquired by the variable rate herbicide applicator system, the total number of green pixels obtained was 76800, and the dimension of image is 640 cross or into 480. And what is the green index? Green index is given by the formula the amount of green pixels divided by the total number of pixels. That would be green index. Okay. Another formula is there, which I will show you in the few upcoming slides. Okay, to calculate green index. But in this particular question, you have to use this particular formula only. Okay, which is the total number of green pixels divided by the total number of pixels in the image. Okay, try to calculate what is the green index. A, good, very good. Yes, the correct option would be A only. Okay, see here the solution I have given in great detail. Okay. Green index is calculated by dividing the total number of green pixels. Okay, by the total number of pixels. Okay. Yes. The total amount of green pixels which are given in the image is 76800. And the total amount of pixels you can calculate from the image size which has been given. as 640 cross 480. Okay. Hence the total number of pixels would be 307200 just by multiplying both the values 640 into 480. Yes. Then green index is number of green pixels divided by total number of pixels, that is 76800 divided by 307200, and your green index would be 0.25. Okay, which you got absolutely correct. Okay. Yes. The green index, what it actually quantifies, it is a measure which is used in remote sensing or in case of image analysis to access the presence and abundance of green vegetation in an image. Okay. Very useful in case of remote sensing as well as in case of measuring the greenery in a given field. Okay. Particularly relevant in applications such as agriculture, forestry, environmental monitoring. Okay. The green index typically derive from spectral reflectance value of different wavelengths. Different wavelengths is there from red, from Vibgyor is there. Okay, so for each and every color, different wavelength is there, which value is there. Okay, which is captured in an image, but particularly focus on the green region is given in given. Why? In case of agricultural and forestry, we always want to know that what is the exact quantity of greenery or the amount of vegetation which is present in an image. Okay, or in a given amount of area. The exact metric which is used for this purpose is green index only. Okay, green index is used to estimate vegetation health, the density, and the coverage. How health can be estimated? The larger the green index is, the larger is the chlorophyll which is present in the particular species, the healthier it is. Okay. Then in case of density, very easily you can calculate in a given amount of area. If I tell you what is the green index for two particular areas, the larger would be the green index, larger would be density also. Okay. Then coverage, similarly, you can understand about the coverage. Okay. In a given frame, okay, the larger the green index at those particular places, the green index value is particularly high in a map. Okay, the coverage or the forest coverage would be better at that those particular places. Okay, green index can be calculated using this particular formula: g minus r divided by g plus r. G is the reflectance of green wavelength. Okay, that is 515 nanometers. Okay, then reflectance in case of the red wavelength, that is 650 nanometers. Okay, so directly you can calculate if uh, your values are given in terms of reflectance of green and red color, then you use this particular formula. Gi is given by g minus r upon g plus r. Have you been had the case be such that you have been given the size of the image and the uh, green pixels, then you directly divide them? That we have done in this particular question. But have you been given in this question the R value, the reflectance of the red wavelength, then directly you can apply the formula: green index is g minus r upon g plus r. Okay. Then how is it used? It is used in vegetation health assessment. I already told you that higher values of green index, they will indicate healthier and denser vegetation. Lower values can indicate stress or lower density. Okay, this is the important. Then land cover classification. Several government matrices are there for classifying a particular area into forest, grassland, or barren land. So GI or green index can help us to distinguish between different land cover crops such as forest or grassland or barren land. Okay. Then precision agriculture. Yes, it is used in precision agriculture to monitor crop health, optimize the resource use, that is water and fertilizers. Okay. Then environment modeling is there. Okay, environmental modeling is there. The GI value, they can track changes in vegetation over time. It helps in assessing the impact of climate change, deforestation, or urbanization. Okay, this is particularly important. Applications of green index. Okay, This is particularly very important. These applications which are there, do keep them in mind. Okay, how the things are getting done here. Yes. Now let us move forward, I think. Yes. Try to solve this particular question. This is particularly lengthy. Take your time. What will be the total amount of herbicide required for a cotton field with an area of 16 to 40 square meters? Green index value is given and 3 liter per hectare is the application rate. How I will calculate it? See, the herbicide has to be applied only to the plant. For that, we have been given as green index is 60%, 0.6. So 3 liter per hectare is the application rate multiplied by area will give you the amount of uh, quantity of your fertilizer in liters that you multiply by zero point 0.6. You will get the quantity of herbicide in liters. Then you convert, multiply it by 1000, you will get the quantity in milliliters. Okay, try to calculate. Yes, very good. 432 ml. Okay. Yes, the correct option is this one only, 432 ml. Okay. Yes. Same procedure which I have given you that you will follow. Area of the field that has been given here is 2400 square meters, 60 into 40. Green index zero point 0.6. Application rate 3 liters per hectare. Then, as you know, 1 hectare is 10,000 square meters. Then, in hectares also you can convert. Otherwise, you can just convert that application rate into meters, meter square. No problem. But here I have converted the my area into hectares only. The field area I have converted into hectares. That will give me 2400 divided by 10,000, 0.24 hectares. Okay. Then effective area would be 0.24 hectares multiplied by zero point 0.6. Okay. So 0.144 hectare. That effective area I have to just multiply by application rate 3 liters per hectare. All the units are in hectares. Okay. Both the units, the application rate as well as the field area. So it will be 0.432 liter. That would be 432 ml. Okay. Correct option is 432 ml. Okay. If you want, have also provided an alternate solution directly multiplying all the three values, but the explanation also I have given you in the previous slide. After the class is over, you can go through this particular approach also. Okay. Yes. Coming to the next question, in general, the cutting angle of sweep type weeding time used in a dryland weeder ranges from 12 degree and 20 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 25 degree and 40 degree, 18 degree and 13 degree. Try to solve. Okay. I'm just coming in 2 minutes. Yes, what is the correct option? Have you answered? In general, the cutting angle of sweep type weeding time used in dry land weeder ranges between 12 degree and 20 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 25 degree and 40 degree, or it is between 18 degree and 30 degree. Okay. Okay. Yes, it will be between 18 and 30 degree. Okay, I'll just explain you. See here, this is the entire sweeping geometry. Okay, the width has been given as W, the lift height has been given as B. Okay, rake angle has been given as alpha. Okay, and theta is the sweep angle. These are the cutting edge parameters. Okay, uh, cutting edge parameters are there. H is the cutting edge height. Okay, here you can see the zoomed view is given on the right hand side. Cutting edge parameters is H is the cutting edge height, L is the length of the underside hub, then B is the angle of underside clearance. Okay, so this is the sweep wing geometry. And the in case of a sweep type weeding time which is used in dry land weeding, yes, you have given option as D. Yeah, it is correct, 100% correct. It is between 18 degree and 13 degree. Why? Because of the geometry. If you consider another options like 12 degree, 20 degree, that would be somewhat very much low. 30, 45 degree, it will create a very large amount of soil disturbance. Okay, as well as it will increase the amount of draft force. Then 25 degree and 40 degree, it is an acceptable range, but keeping it between 18 degree and to 30 degree is more precise, and it is more optimal for eliminating weeds. Okay, sweep tines are used to cut weeds below the soil surface with minimum amount of soil disturbance. Minimal soil disturbance is very important. Okay, for that particular purpose is only our sweep tines are used. Okay, introducing minimal soil disturbance. Okay, 18 degree might not be cut weeds, but 30 degree, more than 30 degree will lead to excessive amount of soil disturbance. That is not very useful. Okay, so in the range you have to keep, so you can eliminate the weeds while keeping your entire machinery also safe, as well as the draft requirement within the due range, because the condition is dry land. Okay, the condition is dry land, the soil would be somewhat hard, so the draft amount would draft force would eventually increase. Okay, this is the correct explanation. Yes, try to solve the last question for the day. If the total draft force acting on a manually operated wheel hoe is 240 newtons, then the power required to operate this wheel hoe, and keep in mind your speed is 1 kilometers per hour. So I'll tell you the formula. The power is given by F into V, force into velocity. Force is given in Newton, speed is given in kilometers per hour. Then you convert kilometers per hour into meters per second, then you try to calculate the power in watts, then you divide by 746, you'll get it in HP, then you tell me the correct option. Okay, try to calculate. Yes. A. Yes, definitely. You are correct. 0.09 HP is the correct option. Okay. As I told you the procedure, I'll explain you here in great detail. Velocity has been given 1 kilometers per hour. That is approximately equal to 0.78 meters per second. And draft force has been given as 240 newtons. Speed has been given. We have calculated 0.278 meters per second. Then power in watt. First you have to calculate. That is F into V. That is 240 Newton multiplied by 0.278 meters per second. And that's 66.72 watt. Then in HP, just divided by 746.0895 is 0.09 HP approximately. Okay, so correct option would be A. This marks the end of this particular session. Okay, thank you for joining the session. Okay, do join the session next week at the same time. If you are having any queries, please do ask me. Okay, session is open to you from now onwards. From my side, it is over. Okay, if you are having any doubts, then please do ask me. Rest, please do join the session same time next week. Okay, 3 to 5. Thank you for joining the session. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, thank you all. I am ending the session. Do join the session at the same week next time. Okay, same time next week. Okay.